Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here. Grateful, recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day, my friends. How was everybody today? Guys, thank you for being here with me. Please don't forget to subscribe, like the video, leave me a comment. I really appreciate when people leave comments, and it obviously helps grow the channel. And of course, share the video with anybody you think might be able to get something out of it. Guys, I kind of like this new format where I'm reading the Just for Today NA channel slogan of the day or meditation of the day, and then go from there. So today, the Just for Today is about being of service. Let me read it exact here. Being involved in service makes me feel worthwhile. And then the affirmation is, today I will be grateful for the opportunity to be of service. And self-worth in service. And fantastic. It's amazing how since I've decided to start incorporating these into my videos, how much they apply in my life. A huge part of why my life is being so blessed today, guys. And again, I when one man's blessings could be another man's curse. But I'm incredibly grateful for this fresh start. Things are going phenomenally well, and I absolutely am convinced that a huge part of that is my desire to help other people, to share, be vulnerable, be authentic, and share my struggles and share my wins, and share the lessons that I'm learning along the way. And whether it's being of service here online, or whether it's being of service to people throughout the day, and I make sure that I'm being of service to people every day in every area that I possibly can. Whether it's just being a positive person, and people who are serving me throughout the day, I make sure I interact. I get to know, because I go to the same places often, so I get to know them. And like today, just a quick little note. One of the girls at the diner was really stressed out, and you could tell she was in a mood. And I'm like, she knows me by name, and so I asked her, hey, how you doing? Everything okay? And just generally concerned, everything okay? And I could literally see how much happier she was because somebody just gave her the time of day and asked her how she was doing, and was generally concerned if there was something good that they can help her with. Guys, sometimes just paying attention to somebody is enough to take them out of a funk and make their day go better. And I felt great for having done that. You could literally, as I was sitting there waiting for my food, I could see her mood lighten because she felt like somebody was actually paying attention. She felt seen, and we all want to feel seen and heard. And I know that's something I'm getting so much more attention these days than I ever did, and it feels great to me. I love the fact that I'm seen and I'm heard. I'm listened to today. So yeah, guys, there's so many different ways to be of service, and it makes such a difference. And again, when you do these things regularly, you're putting out such positive energy into the universe that it's going to get sent back to you. You're going to be rewarded in ways that you won't see. Just you're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to be a happier person. You're going to open up opportunities because you never know, guys. You never know what is going on behind the scenes with somebody else, whether you're making their day or whether they may hold the key to fixing something major in your life that you're not even realizing is an opportunity. But when you're that upbeat person that's literally concerned with other people and want to get out of your own way and you want to make other people's days better, you get good things get magnetized to you. You start pulling, your blessings start to gain their own gravity, and you start pulling good opportunities in, and that's literally what I'm doing all the time, guys, and I love it. I mean, I'm so encouraged. There's the signs and synchronicities. I met with a friend of mine, Johnny, today. He brought his car over for me to service. I was charging up his AC, and I hadn't seen him since the day after I got out of rehab. As a matter of fact, he'd called me, ironically, like literally within a half hour of me leaving the rehab, and needed a battery to put in his car. And today his AC wasn't working well, so we get the car. We got to get caught up. And it was great. Johnny's a really, really good guy. And he's one of those people who celebrate my wins. He loves the fact that I'm sober. Loves the fact that I'm doing well. And we were just talking, and like literally, he hugged me 3 times. He's like, Pat, I'm so happy to see that you're on the right path and things are going good for you. He's like, see that good things happen to good people, because he's always liked me and he knew I was struggling before, and and it wasn't something I could talk to him about. He's a straight-laced guy, and I didn't want to share it until after I'd gone to rehab. And then of course I told him all about it, and Johnny was thrilled to see how well I'm doing. And he's like, listen, now he knows I had him meet me at the garage. He knows I now have a garage, and he's like, listen, get me some business cards. I'll pass them out to everybody on the job sites, and draw up a lot more business. guys, when you are being of service to other people and just trying to be a good person, like it builds, and that's what's happening. Is my business is expanding every day because I'm being a good person. I'm being somebody people want to spend time with. They want to see succeed. They want to spend money with, and then that's the other thing, guys. There's a difference between being of service and knowing your worth and being able to charge. Now, one thing I'm getting used to is I've been doing mechanic side. I was a mechanic for years. I had my own business, been in the best schools in the country. And then when I lost all that, I was doing it on the side, and especially when I was using drugs, when I was an active addict, I would do things for rock bottom prices and just ridiculously short money, and people kind of get used to that. So now I'm having, and it's not their fault. This is me. What I was charging. Now I've got the garage. I'm buying toolboxes. I'm insuring the place. I'm paying for the electricity. I'm paying for the rent. So I've got to start charging a lot more money. And again, I'm still coming in a fraction of what anybody would pay a regular service station. That's they're charging, $180 an hour, and then they're charging, marking up the parts, and they're charging book time on it. And I go by what it takes me to do, but I'm having to charge a lot more. So I did his AC for him last year, and here in the driveway, and I think it cost him a total of $70. And today it cost him $170, and he had no problem with that. He's like, listen, if I go to a garage, you're going to charge me $300, and I don't know if they're even going to do it right. People just want good service, and they'll pay you your worth. And again, I probably could have charged him more. Johnny's my friend, and it didn't take me long. It wasn't difficult. But I was very happy. It was still a lot more money than I would normally have charged. And today I know my worth, and I'm getting that. And then ironically, as I was working on that, my former boss called, and again, he was all banged up. Couldn't even call me. He had to text me and ask me, because he was supposed to bring his father-in-law's vehicle to my garage this afternoon for me to look at the brakes. And now he's all banged up and he can't move, and he's hoping I'll come over to the house and look at it there. And I'm like, Frank, no. I text him back. He said, no, you're supposed to be here with the car. Frank, I'm renting a garage. All my tools are here. All my equipment is here. I'm not going to load my truck up to drive my stuff across town when I'm paying for a garage. It's got a safe concrete floor. I got jacks. I got jack stands. And I can do it properly with air compressors and air tools. I'm not going to come over to your house because you're too fucked up to leave the house and do it on an unlevel, dangerous driveway. And even though I would do that in the past, but that's, the past no longer defines me. So it didn't get done, and he's going to have to deal with that. Again, I make concessions where possible, but again, I'm not going to put myself in a unhealthy, dangerous situation when I've gone through all this work to have a proper, safe place to work on things, because it's inconvenient for him and because he wants to fuck around. So you gotta know when it is proper to be of service and when it's proper to shut something down, and then when it's proper to charge. You gotta use the discernment, and you gotta make good decisions at a base that work for you. And again, I use myself an example so you guys will know. With all that being said, guys, I haven't even announced the big one today. I met with my recovery advisor. We officially went to Harvard and we got registered. I got registered for, it's actually 2 classes that I won the scholarship to take. I thought it was one class that incorporated 2 subjects. It's actually 2 separate classes. So I am officially a registered student of Harvard University. I start my first class Monday morning, and I start my second one on Wednesday the 28th of May. And the classes run through November. So for the next, whatever it is, 3 or 4 months, I will be taking classes at Harvard University, and I will be earning 2 certificates from Harvard University, all on a scholarship. And that is just, that is just mind-blowing to me, guys, and it's beautiful. And again, I've earned the opportunity, and I think it's fantastic. And I also think it's a huge sign from the universe that even though I'm dreaming much bigger and I'm playing much bigger, I'm still not even beginning to scratch the surface of what my potential is. And that's why I'm challenging myself. But again, I'm not trying to go over, take anything too crazy too fast and get overwhelmed and knock myself off my game. But I'm paying attention to the signs and synchronicities that God and the universe is sending me, and I'm taking advantage of the opportunities that are coming my way. And I'm so incredibly encouraged. And it's funny, I put a post on Facebook today, and I'm like, oh, this ought to go over well. Let's see all my loved ones, all my friends, family. And it was almost made me emotional, the amount of unbelievably positive messages, comments, and things. People that I thought always looked at me just as a degenerate, drug addict. we're coming up with Pat. Jesus Christ, finally, you're always one of the smartest kids I knew, but you couldn't get out of your own way. I'm so proud of you, so happy to see this. It doesn't surprise me at all. And that made me feel great. You know what I mean, guys? And that's what happens when you heal and you challenge yourself to be the best you can, and then you go out and you act upon it. And that's the thing, guys. I take all these lessons and I incorporate them into my life and I take action on them. And that's why things are going phenomenally well today, guys. Everything in my life is so incredibly encouraging. It just it blows my mind what is possible, and that's literally why I do these videos, to show you guys what is possible, so that you'll know, and you know that literally the only person that can hold you back is you. The only two people that can tell you what you can and can't do is you and your higher power. And I said, I strongly urge you to develop a good, positive, loving relationship with your higher power. It is phenomenal, guys. It just pays off in ways, boom, 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 one after the other. I could sit here and talk about it for days. But you know what? We're going to keep this at that. Those are the lessons of the day. That's what I have for you guys today. Guys, as always, thank you so very much for being here. I love each and every one of you. God loves you. I love you. I appreciate you being here. We will see you in the next one.